We'd like to welcome once again into the arena our international judges as we begin Class 2A for fillies aged 2 years. And the results for the first horse in this class, horse number 48, Sheikha AFR, owned by Sheikha bin Hamid Al Kuwaiti. For type, a unanimous score of 18. For head and neck, a unanimous score of 18. For body and top line, 17.5, 17.5, 18 and 18. For legs, 15, 15.5, 15.5 and 15.5. And for movement, 16.5, 17.5, 17.5 and 17.5. With a total score of 86.4 points for horse number 48, Sheikha AFR, owned by Sheikha bin Hamid Al Kuwaiti. The results for horse number 50, Lulu Al Rahba, owned by the Al Rahba Arabian horse stud. For type, 18.5, 19, 19 and 18.5. For head and neck, 18.5, 18.5, 19 and 18.5. For body and top line, a unanimous score of 18. For legs, 15.5, 15.5, 16 and 16. And for movement, 19, 18.5, 18.5 and 19. With a total score of 89.9 points for horse number 50, owned by the Al Rahba Arabian horse stud. The results for horse number 52, Luna GCA, owned by Faraz Fuad Mashal. For type, a unanimous score of 19. For head and neck, a unanimous score of 19. For body and top line, 18, 18, 17.5 and 18. For legs, 15, 16, 15.5 and 15.5. And for movement, 18.5, 19, 19 and 18.5. With a total score of 90.1 points for horse number 52, Luna GCA. The results for horse number 51, Ghanwat Al Alia, owned by the Al Alia Arabian horse stud, for type 18, 19, 18, 18.5. For head and neck 18.5, 19, 18, 18.5. For body and top line 17.5, 17, 18, 17.5. For legs 14.5, 15.5, 15.5 and 15. And for movement, a unanimous score of 18. With a total score of 87.5 points for horse number 51, Ghanwat Al Alia, owned by the Al Alia Arabian horse stud. The results for horse number 53, M.A. Marjana, owned by Abdullah Al Najjar, for type 18, 18.5, 17.5 and 18. For head and neck 17.5, 18.5, 17.5 and 17.5. For body and top line, a unanimous score of 17.5. For legs, a unanimous score of 15.5. And for movement, 18.5, 18, 18.5 and 18.5, with a total score of 87.1 points for horse number 53, M.A. Marjana, owned by Abdullah Al Najjar. The results for horse number 54, Sahar Al Jamal, owned by Ahmed Ali Ibrahim, for type 18.5, 19, 19, 19. For head and neck, a unanimous score of 19. For body and top line, a unanimous score of 18. For legs, 15, 16, 15.5 and 16. And for movement, 18.5, 18, 18 and 18.5. With a total score of 89.8 points for horse number 54, Sahar Al Jamal, owned by Ahmed Ali Ibrahim. The results for horse number 55, D. Bentan, owned by Abdurrahman Hamid Al Kuwaiti. For type, a unanimous score of 18.5. For head and neck, a unanimous score of 18.5. For body and top line, a unanimous score of 17.5. For legs, 15.5, 15.5, 16 and 16. And for movement, 18.5, 19, 19 and 18.5. With a total score of 89 points for horse number 54, D. Bentan, owned by Abdurrahman bin Hamid Al Kuwaiti. The results for horse number 56, Ibtihal Al-Dawahi, owned by Saeed bin Ali Al-Yamahi. For type, 18, 18.5, 18 and 18. For head and neck, 18, 18.5, 18 and 18. For body and top line, 18, 18, 18, 17.5. For legs, a unanimous score of 15.5. And for movement, a unanimous score of 18, with a total score of 87.6 points for horse number 56, Ibtihal Al-Dawahi, owned by Saeed Ali Al-Yamahi. To make sure I'm saying it correctly, because the English spelling is... So I'm like... The results for horse number 57, D. Ghanima, owned by the Dubai Arabian Horse Stud. For type, 19, 19.5, 19.5 and 19.5. For head and neck, 19, 19.5, 19.5 and 19. For body and top line, 18.5, 18.5, 18 and 18. For legs, 15.5, 16, 16 and 16. And for movement, 18.5, 18.5, 18 and 18.5. With a total score of 91.1 points for horse number 57, D. Ghanima, owned by the Dubai Arabian Horse Stud. The results for horse number 58, ARQ Malika, owned by the Al-Moj Arabian horse stud. For type, 18, 18.5, 18 and 18.5. For head and neck, 18, 18.5, 17.5 and 18.5. For body and top line, 17.5, 17.5, 18 and 18. For legs, a unanimous score of 15.5. And for movement, a unanimous score of 18, with a total score of 87.6 points for horse number 58, ARQ Malika, owned by the Al-Moj Arabian horse stud. The results for horse number 59, B. Hilala, owned by the Banat Al-Rih Arabian horse stud. For type, a unanimous score of 18.5. For head and neck, 18, 18, 18.5 and 18.5. For body and top line, 17.5, 17.5, 18 and 18. For legs, a unanimous score of 15.5. For movement, 18.5, 19, 18.5 and 18.5, with a total score of 88.6 points for horse number 59, B.A. Hilala, owned by the Banat Al-Rih Arabian horse stud. And the results for the last horse in this class, horse number 61, SS Jury, owned by Sultan bin Mohammed Al Yahyai. For type, 18.5, 18.5, 19, 18.5. For head and neck, 18, 18, 19, 18.5. For body and top line, a unanimous score of 17.5. For legs, 15.5, 16, 15.5 and 15.5. And for movement, 18.5, 19, 18.5 and 18.5. with a total score of 88.8 points for horse number 61, SS Jury, owned by Sultan bin Mohammed Al Yahyai. And the winner for Class 2A for fillies aged 2 years, Section A, goes to horse number 57, D. Ghanima, with a total score of 91.1 points for the Dubai Arabian Horse Stud. Second place, horse number 52, Luna GCA, with a total score of 90.1 points, owned by Firas Fuad Mash'al. Third place, horse number 50, Lulu Al Rahba DS, with 89.9 points for the Al Rahba Arabian Horse Stud. Fourth place, horse number 54, Sahar Al Jamal, with 89.8 points for Ahmed bin Ali Ibrahim. And in fifth place, horse number 55, D Bintan, with 89 points for Abdurrahman bin Hamid Al Kuwaiti.